Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I will be giving my end of the season rankings, I guess you want to call it, if you want to call that, um, for all the quarterbacks that played for most of the season when it came to their team. There are going to be some exceptions, like Joe Flacco, who played on two teams, but in total played 10 games. Um, Justin Fields only playing seven, but he played the most for the Jets. And I wanted to have at least one quarterback for all 32 teams. So there will be some teams that have multiple quarterbacks that I'm going to be putting in the tier list today. Teams like the Browns having Shador and Dylan Gabriel, the Bengals with Joe Flacco and Joe Burrow, the Niners with Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. You get the gist. The Commanders with Mariota and Daniels. So yeah, that's gonna be um, for the most part, the four teams that have multiple quarterbacks. I'm going to get into this with the AFC South, starting off with Daniel Jones. Um, Daniel Jones played 13 games. In those 13 games, he went 8-5, where he threw for 3,101 passing yards, 19 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Another note is he had 5 rushing touchdowns. Started off really good. The Colts as a whole started off really good, but he was looking phenomenal. Then he started to go down a little bit just because of the fractured fibula he had sustained against the Chiefs. Obviously, he tore his Achilles. He has Achilles. I think the next week, if I want to say, maybe 2 weeks later on. Um, Overall, was a very good season from him. I'm going to be putting him in the B tier. I think he makes sense right there, just being in the B tier. A nice start for I guess what a slightly above average season should be. Next, I have Cam Ward, who played all 17 games. He went 3-14 as a rookie, where he threw for 3,169 passing yards, 15 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Um, Cam Ward, for the most part, looked really bad. It's not his fault. The Titans are just a really bad football team. Didn't have any weapons, no O line. Head coach got fired, I think, after 5 games. So it was a rough season for him, but it was going to be a rough season for him anyway. You don't expect a rookie quarterback to play well under those circumstances. I'm going to put Cam Ward's season at a D tier. I just don't think that it was very good. I understand it's a rookie year. On the rookie year scale, this might be a B tier, but this is on every quarterback. So when it compares to all quarterbacks this season, I'm putting him at a D tier. Next, we have CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud played 16 games. I'm counting the postseason as well into these rankings. In 16 games, he went 10-6, where he threw for 3,503 passing yards, 21 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. We know him now as the abysmal game against the Patriots, but really even before that, he was not that great this year. Um, Overall, just really disappointed in him. Basically, the last 2 years, I'm gonna put C.J. Stroud right next to Cam Ward, but above Cam Ward in the D tier. He was just a objectively really bad quarterback this season, where the Texans probably should have been the team out in the AFC, but because of his poor play throughout the year, um, they were not able to do that. So I think he's worth the D tier. He was not great this season. Yeah. Next up, we have Trevor Lawrence from the Jaguars, who played in 18 games, going 13-5, where he threw for a total of 4,214 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and he ran for 9 additional touchdowns. Um, this is by far his best season of his career. Liam Cohen did miracles with him. This is for the first time he looked somewhat like the college prospect he was. Obviously, he won't get to that level just because he had comparisons of Andrew Luck as being one of the best prospects at a college of all time. I thought he was rightfully so going to be the third place vote for the MVP award. I guess they gave it to Justin Herbert for some reason and Josh Allen. I would have had Trevor Lawrence as my third pick for the MVP award. Um, I'm going to be putting Trevor Lawrence at the A tier of this ranking for me. Just overall a good season. A rough game against the Bills in the playoffs, but you still played very well this year, and hopefully we see more of that in the future. Going on to the NFC South, starting off with the Panthers with Bryce Young, who played 17 games, going 8-9 with 3,275 passing yards, throwing 24 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. This was without a doubt. Sorry, I'm just burping a lot. Had a lot of soda. This is without a doubt his best season in his career. Still wasn't the greatest season, but his first few seasons were really bad. So it makes sense that just being average for the most part was a great season for his standards. I'm going to put him in the C tier. He just had an average quarterback year, but for Bryce Young, that is a really great. Sorry, for King Short. For King Short, that was a really good season for him. Without a doubt, his best, but overall was just an alright season. Next up, we have Baker Mayfield. In 17 games, he went 8-9, going for 3,693 passing yards, 26 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Started off really great. I think the team was like 5-2 at one point. The Bucks were, and then they just took a tumble after the receivers got hurt. I feel like Baker was playing injured. Maybe he wasn't, but he looked substantially worse in the second half. Kind of the same way he did with the Browns that last season with them, where like he started off pretty good, and then after the shoulder injury, he just like really was shit. That's kind of what happened this year. And because of that, I'm gonna be putting him in the bottom of B tier. I think he did better than an average quarterback did, which is C tier, but not by a lot. So I'm putting him in the B tier. He probably will end up in the very bottom of B tier, but that's what I'm going to put him at right now. Now we have Tyler Shuck from the Saints, who played in 9 games, going 5-4, throwing for 2,384 passing yards, 10 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. This is just an average rookie season, where you get small sample size, and you just hope to find something within your quarterback. And yeah, Tyler Shucks just seemed like an average quarterback this year, which is a good thing for a rookie quarterback. I'm going to be putting him alongside Bryce Young in C tier. I'm going to put him behind Bryce Young just because Bryce Young did technically, he was a playoff team. Should he have been? No, but he was in the worst division, so one team has to go there. So that's why I'm going to put him above Tyler Shuck. And then the Saints' other quarterback who started the first 8 games, sorry about that, Spencer Rattler, played 8 games, going 1-7 for 1,586 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I'm putting him in the D tier. There's a reason why he became the backup. I'm going to put him behind Cam Ward. There's a reason why he got benched. He did look solid, but it's just not. He proved that he's a good backup. He did not prove that he should be a starting quarterback, and that's why he was benched midway through the season. Next up, we have Michael Penix Jr., who played 9 games, who went 3-6 for 1,982 passing yards, 9 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. I feel like he should have done more this year. I'm also going to be talking about like how there are expectations of quarterbacks. And the expectation of Michael Penix was to just do enough. You have good receivers, one of the best running backs in the league, supposed to be a great tight end in Kyle Pitts, the GOAT fantasy guy, number 1 overall pick. He just looked a little bit underwhelming. I'm going to put him in the D tier. I'm going to put him behind CJ Stroud, above Cam Ward, but I'm putting him in the D tier. I just thought he was going to do a lot better. And then his teammate, Kirk Cousins, in 8 games, went 5-3 for 1,721 yards, 10 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I'm putting him in the C tier. I'm putting him behind Tyler Shuck, though, in the C tier. Um, he just looked like Kirk Cousins did, which is like an average quarterback for the most part. Um, he is old though, and he kind of showed it in some parts. Um, I think C tier makes sense for Kirk Cousins in his whole career, basically, where he's just been like an average quarterback that you have. If you have good stuff around him, he's gonna be good, and if you don't, he's not going to. Um, that seems right for me when it comes to Kirk Cousins, putting him in the C tier. Next, I'm gonna go to the AFC North. Starting off with Aaron Rodgers, who played in 17 games, going 10-7. Shout out the Steelers for going 10-7 again with their fucking team. Even though they went 10-8. He threw for 3,468 passing yards, 24 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. You light my fire. That's basically Aaron Rodgers. He is outstanding by the Gap Band. I'm gonna put him in the C tier. I think he played better than Bryce Young, so I'll put him above him. But it was just, it's washed Aaron Rodgers. Washed Aaron Rodgers is just an average quarterback. At some point, he would be S tier, but that was half a decade ago. And now he just seems like an average quarterback who's probably going to retire. Next up, Shador Sanders. Oh boy, he played in 7 games, went 3-4, which is like technically going undefeated for the Browns quarterbacks. Threw for 1,400 passing yards, 7 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Usually these tier list things don't have an F spot. I created an F spot for specific quarterbacks. I think Shador Sanders was an F tier quarterback this year. He just simply was not good. He simply was not. I don't know how they gave him the Pro Bowl nod over like Trevor Lawrence, which I guess no one cares about the Pro Bowl. It's fucking flag football. Like, no one cares about that shit anymore. The players don't even like it. Why should us as fans like it? It's kind of like basketball too. Like, if KD doesn't want to go to the All-Star game, why the fuck should I? Just fucking roasting basketball now. Yeah. And by that, fuck the Rockets too. Yeah, Short Sanders just wasn't good. He wasn't good. He was better than the other Browns quarterback, which Dylan Gabriel, you are also going an F, just a little bit behind Shador. Dylan Gabriel in 6 games went 1-5 for 937 passing yards. You couldn't even get 1,000 in 6 games. 7 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Better touchdown to interception ratio, but you were still genuinely just not a good quarterback. I think this makes sense for the Browns, having 2 F tier quarterbacks and being like, who's gonna be the future? Shocker, none of them. And if Shador does well, then fuck my ass, dude. Not literally. Drake may only. But yeah, they were just like not good quarterbacks. The Browns are shit. They only have like 3 good players, and they're all on the defense. They gotta figure this shit out. But yeah, the quarterbacks Shador and Dylan Gabriel. It's like, you know, it's that one photo. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I don't know how to edit this video, so I can't show you the photo. But it's like two white boys fighting, and the caption is like 2 retards fighting. That's these two. That's these two fighting for like the Browns like QB spot. This is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? It's terrible. All right, that's enough of them. That's enough shitting on the Browns. That was too much. I'm sorry. That was too mean. All right, next with the Bengals, Joe Burrow once again couldn't finish the season. He played in 8 games, going 5-3 for 1,809 passing yards, 17 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Another season where it's like, yeah, you played very well, but you didn't play the full season. So because of that, I'm gonna have to dock you a spot. I'm gonna put you in the B tier behind Baker Mayfield. Just I'll put you above Baker, but I'm putting you behind Daniel Jones, just because we saw more sample size of Daniel Jones. Even though you did play better than these 2 quarterbacks, I won't put you higher than Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones had his team in the postseason by the time before he got injured, and you just were not able to play enough games to be able to have your team in the playoffs, Joe Burrow. So that's one of the cases where it's not because of your skill or how you played this year, but it's the fact that you didn't have enough sample size for me to put you higher in the tier list. There's going to be a few of those quarterbacks where I can't put you higher just because you didn't play enough. Um, Joe Flacco played 10 games, both combining with the Bengals and the Browns. In those 10 games, he went 2-8 for 2,479 passing yards, 15 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Um, there's gonna be two quarterbacks that I talk about where it's like you had good stats, but I don't care about them just because you didn't play winning football. Um, and Joe Flacco is one of those guys. I'm putting him at the D tier. I do think that he performed better than these three. I'm putting him behind CJ Stroud just because CJ Stroud did make the playoffs and win a playoff game. It's just that he was not a good quarterback this year. Um, I'm putting Joe Flacco near the top of D tier right now. He might go down depending on who comes in next. But yeah, just Joe Flacco's old, washed. Was he really ever fully that great though? Yeah, I feel like he had that one 4 game span in the postseason that just made him a Ravens legend, kinda, but not really even. Like, it's crazy because like his legacy is within 4 games, but after those 4 games, he's like an average quarterback. Um, but yeah, putting him in the D tier, it makes sense to me. He just wasn't winning, wasn't playing winning football. Yeah. Now we have Lamar Jackson, who played in 13 games with a record of 6-7, where he threw for 2,549 yards, 21 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He also had 4 rushing touchdowns, and 349 rushing yards. One of those things again, like a Joe Burrow, just not enough sample size. I know 13 games is more, it's closer to a full sample size. Um, I'm gonna be putting him in the B tier behind Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow played a better season than Lamar Jackson did. It was weird because at first when Lamar Jackson was started the season, he was playing phenomenal, but the team was losing games. And late in the year, he was playing bad, but the team was winning the games. Um, I feel bad for the Ravens that they weren't able to fully click with Lamar Jackson this season. That's why I have him at the B tier. Any other year, he's in the A tier at least. Um, just wasn't enough sample size, and even with the sample size, um, he wasn't Lamar Jackson this year. He seemed hurt when he came back from the injury, but they needed him for that playoff push. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna put him in the B tier. All right, now we have the NFC North, starting with 9, JJ McCarthy. Let me just first off, you're going in the F tier. JJ McCarthy is going in the F tier. That's no discussion needed. 9 is going to the F tier. Let me read off his stats. In 10 games, he went 6-4. People forget, man. He had a winning record. For 1,632 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. 9 was on one. Yeah, he just wasn't good. I'll say this: the last quarterback that I'm gonna be putting in this tier list was a Viking last year. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a reason why he's the last quarterback I'm gonna name as well. People forget, man. You guys, fucking Vikings are dumbasses. Yeah, JJ McCarthy was not good this year. Second year quarterback, but this is really his rookie season. He looked very much like a rookie, and overall was not good. Not much else to say about him. He just wasn't a good quarterback this season at all. Next up, Jordan Love. In the 16 total games he played, including the postseason, he went 9-6-1 for 3,704 passing yards, 27 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Solid season. Another solid season from Jordan Love. Not much else to say. I guess the Packers just weren't as talented as we thought, because you can't only get Micah Parsons and your team goes from winning 10 games to being like, they're the Super Bowl favorite. That's not how that works. You know what I mean? I'm putting Jordan Love at the top of B tier. I think he played better than Daniel Jones and more sample size than Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. And yeah, that's basically the only reason why I'm giving it over Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Daniel Jones is that he played more, and then we saw how he was able to play in the postseason as well. Next up, Jared Goff, who played in 17 games. He went 9-8, wasn't great record wise, for 4,564 passing yards, 34 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Just another quality season from Jared Goff. The team may have not been great. The Lions definitely wish they kept Ben Johnson or at least hired the right coordinator offensively, and they just failed that again. They just hired the Cardinals offensive coordinator, and the Cardinals fans fucking hate that dude. Why the fuck would you hire him, Lions? Um, I'm gonna put Jared Goff at the A tier behind Trevor Lawrence, just because I thought Trevor Lawrence was an MVP candidate. Um, but just a very good season from Jared Goff. Wasn't as good as last year, but Jared Goff last year as well was like a top 5 quarterback. Like that season. Not saying in the league, but like as for a year, he had a top 5 season last year. And this year he was close to that. Um, I just don't think he was better than Trevor Lawrence was. Still very good, A tier. Next up, Caleb Williams in 19 games. Um, he went 13-6. No. He went 12-7. Sorry, guys. Fucking badass handwriting. He went 12-7 with 4,560 passing yards, 31 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Played very well in the postseason as well. Um, Overall, a good season. Bad completion percentage, but who cares? I mean, you probably should care, but improve on that, Caleb Williams, please. I'm gonna put him at the A tier, right in between Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love. Wait, Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff. Sorry about that. I think that's right. I don't think he played better than Trevor Lawrence, but you have to say he played better than Jared Goff just because he took the team to the playoffs and won a playoff game. Um, I think that's a stat wise kind of thing. You can make an argument that Jared Goff had better stats and overall was better, but taking into account that Caleb Williams won playoff games with his team, I'm going to choose Caleb Williams' season over Jared Goff. That's all it is. Next up, we're going to the AFC East, starting off with the Dolphins of Tua Tagovailoa. I'm kidding. Tua Tagovailoa. He did turn the ball over a lot, though. In 14 games, he went 6-8. He's the reason why Mike McDaniels got fired. He threw for 2,660 passing yards, 20 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. You know where he is going, F tier. But I do think he is above these 3 guys just because at least he was like still getting touchdowns. He was genuinely not good this year, but at least he was still scoring points for his team. He is the reasons why the Dolphins was really bad, though. One of the reasons. The Dolphins also are just not a good football team. Tua just didn't help them at all, especially when you get paid that much money. I think he's going to get released very soon, which is the right decision. Miami, don't keep him. Just rebuild. Just fucking start over again. All of it. Get a new quarterback. Tua's not your guy, and Tua this year just played really, really bad. Another quarterback that played really, really bad is Jets quarterback Justin Fields, who in 9 games went 2-7, throwing for 1,259 passing yards, 7 touchdowns to only 1 interception. I'm not going to count his rushing stats because I'm going to get to how I think Justin Fields is. He is an F-tier quarterback. I'm going to put him behind Shador and just right in between Dylan Gabriel and them. Justin Fields is one of those college quarterbacks that is only supposed to play college football. They're not supposed to make it to the league. It's like the guy from Vanderbilt. He's not supposed to play in the NFL. His brand of football doesn't match the NFL. Justin Fields isn't a good thrower of the ball, but he can win you college games because he's just more athletic than the rest of the college athletes. But in the NFL, you need skill. And simply put, I don't think he has the skills that you need from a starting quarterback or even a backup quarterback in the NFL. That's why I think Justin Fields has not worked out in the league, and I don't think he will work out in the league. He's not really even a great spot starter. I know he played decent with the Steelers, but it's not hard to be decent with the Steelers, especially last year when it was like, just score 17 points and it's going to be a game. Um, he's just his only. He's not even a dual threat quarterback because you don't have to worry about him throwing the ball. He had games where he had like less than 60 passing yards. He had a 48-yard, I think, touchdown pass to Bryce Hall, and he finished the game with 54 passing yards. He's just not a good thrower of the ball. He's not an NFL quarterback. And it sucks to me to say that because he did look good at Ohio State, but we should know that Ohio State quarterbacks don't look good over here. They don't look good in the NFL. And from all you guys who say, well, Joe Burrow went to Ohio State. Joe Burrow went to school at Ohio State and played football at LSU. All right? So I don't want to hear anyone being like, but Joe Burrow played there. People forget, man. Joe Burrow was at Ohio State. He went to school there. He played football at LSU. Next up, done with that rambling. Justin Fields, you're not good. Josh Allen, who played 19 games, going 13-6, throwing for 4,224 passing yards, 29 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. He had 16 rushing touchdowns on top of that. I'm going to put him at the A tier. Behind Trevor Lawrence. Behind Trevor Lawrence, though. Shit. There you go. Behind Trevor Lawrence. Wasn't as good as last year when he won the MVP award. A lot more turnovers. You can't afford that with the team. Decent. A good year. A good year, just worse than last year. Basically, is all it is. A good year, just worse than last year. Still top 5 season. He got fucking MVP votes, so that should tell you that a season that isn't as good as last year's is still one of the better seasons in the league. Just too many turnovers. Trim on the turnovers, and a much better season from Josh Allen is going to happen. Next up, Drake May, who played in 21 games, going 17-4, throwing for a total of 5,222 passing yards, 37 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Overall, a good year. He did play some easy competition, and in this postseason, when you saw he played top 6, 7. I'm fucking stupid. When you play like top 7 defenses, he struggled. But at the end of the day, you did lead. You were the starting quarterback of a Super Bowl team. I'm gonna put you at the top of A tier. Well, you were second place in MVP. Should it have been that close for one vote mattered? I don't think so. I think there is a clear number 1 MVP candidate, and Drake May was the clear number 2. That's not a bad thing, being the clear number 2. Good year. Hopefully we see more of this. It's overall a good season from Drake May. Next up with the NFC East, I'm starting with the Commanders with Marcus Mariota, who played in 8 games, going 2-6 for 1,695 passing yards, 10 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. I'm going to put Marcus Mariota at the F tier, ahead of Shedeur Sanders, though, simply because he just played a little bit better. Like it's you know what I mean? A little bit better than Shedeur, but it still wasn't great. Marcus Mariota isn't a good quarterback. He's a backup for a reason. That's just all it is. Your starting quarterback was hurt for the most part, so you have your backup in. He's a fucking backup. for the most part, backups aren't going to be that great. Next up, Jaden Daniels from the Commanders in 7 games, going 2-5 for 1,262 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I'm gonna put him at the D tier, above Michael Penix, but below Joe Flacco this year. Really, really great rookie year, but this year, just so many nagging injuries, so many injuries from him that it felt like even when he was playing, he still wasn't 100%. Kind of like Lamar Jackson, in a sense where it's like, yeah, you're playing on the field, but you ain't fully there. You know what I mean? It's one of those years where you just like, it wasn't even a sophomore slump because it kind of was though. It kind of was a sophomore slump because he didn't look as good as last year. Or last year he was phenomenal. But this year Jaden Daniels just kind of struggled. I don't want to say they figured him out because they kind of didn't. He was just hurt. But yeah, hopefully next year is better. All right, going to the Giants with Jackson Dart, who in 12 games went 4-8, throwing for 2,272 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 9 rushing touchdowns as well. I think he was the best rookie quarterback this year. I'll say that. I think he was the best rookie quarterback if Tedero McMillan was not in the league, or wasn't allowed to win the Rookie of the Year award. I think Jackson Dart would have won it. I'm going to put Jackson Dart in the C tier, above Tyler Shuck, but below Bryce Young. A good year. A fun year, too. It was a very fun year. This is the first time in about 5 years that watching the Giants was fun. You got Cam Scatabo, Jackson Dart, the exciting Whites of New York. Hopefully great things happen in the future. This was a good rookie year, though, from Jackson Dart. This is like an A-tier rookie year, especially given the sample size that we saw from him. Please just slide. Jackson Dart, slide. I want to see you in the league for a decade. Slide. You don't have to fucking go straight through the linebacker who is clearly stronger than you and bigger than you. Just slide. Just slide down. You know what I mean? Just like slide in the second base, or just slide. You know what I mean? Just don't fuck. You know, don't. There's no need to show that I'm CTE, boys. There's no need for that. Just slide. You know. Next up, Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. In 17 games, goes 7-9-1, throwing for 4,552 passing yards, 30 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. I like Dak Prescott. I think he's a very good quarterback. Calm down. He's a good quarterback. He's borderline top 10. Depending on who you ask, he's at worst 12 and at best 8. He's right around that range. I think this was an A-tier year. We're talking about quarterbacks. This is a great year from a quarterback. Dallas once again has no defense. Like, that's just what it is. There's no defense. You can't blame Dak Prescott for having no defense, because I'll get to someone who has all the defense, all the receivers, the running back as well, and still shits the bed. At least this year. But yeah, Dak Prescott, a good year. Just a good objectively good quarterback year. Didn't account to a lot of wins. Dallas, you have to work on getting a team that is actually. You can't like bullshit your fans yearly, saying that we're going all in. Not go all in, and then going into week 1, you're like, this is a team that could win the Super Bowl. You didn't build a team that has enough skill and talent to be able to tell your fans that we did enough to have a Super Bowl team. Because as you saw, what is the Super Bowl team? A team that has a good run game, a team that doesn't turn over the ball, a team that is smart situationally, a good third down team, good in the red zone, a great front four, a great secondary, and a good linebacking core that fits it all in there, and a head coaching staff that knows what they're doing with their players, knows what they want out of the players, and overall tries their best at week in and week out to outsmart their opponent's head coach and their like coordinators, and that simply isn't what Dallas is doing. And as long as Jerry Jones keeps telling his fans that, hey, I just built a team that could win it all. No, you didn't. You built a team that could make it to the playoffs, make your fans then go, we're in the playoffs here. We could win it all. No, you can't. You guys don't have enough scheme, talent, continuity in your team to be able to say that we are a top-notch team in the playoffs. And even when you did have that, with like Micah Parsons, Trevion Diggs in 2020, 2021, 2022, and all those, they're 2 years, 3 years, I think for 21 to 23. What did you not have? You gave up the explosive plays. Your corners were either getting the interception or were allowing the big plays. You had Mike McCarthy as your head coach, who the only reason why Mike McCarthy was still in the league is because this legend, Aaron Rodgers, carried him to a ring and carried Mike McCarthy's legacy. Just because Aaron Rodgers was throwing for 40 touchdowns to fucking 5 interceptions yearly. So you didn't have an actual good head coach. You had a guy who you said was a good head coach. Look at all these accomplishments you had. That's all because of Aaron Rodgers. So you don't have a good head coach. So even when you were good and supposedly Super Bowl ready, you weren't. So Dallas, take whatever Jerry Jones with a grain of fucking salt, because he's just trying to sell you something, because he doesn't want to buy for players. All right? That's enough for my rant about Dallas. Good seasons from Dak Prescott, kind of like always. Next up, Jalen Hurts in 17 games goes 11-6 for 3,392 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 8 rushing touchdowns. Those stats should be a whole lot better when you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That's all I'm going to say. I'm putting you into C tier, the top of C tier. I do think you were better than Aaron Rodgers this year. You're not B tier worthy, though. I don't care. What the fuck was that? I don't care that you were the 3 seed. I don't care. You should have been the 1 seed. You know what I mean? That's the kind of talent your team has. You simply were not good this year. You simply didn't have it. If you didn't have your first read, you're rolling to the right and throwing the ball away. That's all it was. A.J. Brown deep ball. You're going post route, corner route. That's all you have. 1 read. You gotta do better, I will say. Patullo, if Jalen Hurts plays very well next year, I will say it was Kevin Patullo. But if he plays like this again next year, I don't want to hear any of those dumbass Eagles fans who can't even spell Eagles to be saying that he's top 5, because he's not top 5. Jalen Hurts is not top 5. Now I'm just mad. I'm just mad now. Like, I went on a rant about the Cowboys. Now I'm mad and I'm pissed off. I'm just rambling now. All right, now we got the AFC West starting off with Geno Smith and the Oakland Raiders. Geno Smith in 15 games went 2-13, going for 3,025 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and a league high 17 interceptions. We all know where he's going. He was the worst quarterback this year. He is the reason why the Raiders have the first overall pick. And what happens the year that he gets traded? Well, Seattle wins the Super Bowl. Geno was the worst quarterback this year. Geno side is a real thing. He probably started. Geno Smith probably did 9/11. Like, that's just like what the Raiders fans think of him. He probably did 9/11. He probably started the Civil War. He probably started like the KKK. Like, he did all these bad. Geno Smith is the reason why probably Jesus died. Like, it's just crazy what he did this year. Geno Smith is like a war crime, like a war criminal. Yeah, he's like a bounty killer, which like all Raiders fans like happiness in life. Just fuck you, Geno Smith. You just, hey, Geno Smith, please write that note back, dude. Just write it. It's over. Um, you're just very bad this year. That's the reason why you're getting Freaky Mendoza. I don't even think it's all that great. Next up with the Broncos, Bo Nix, 18 games, going 15-3 for 4,210 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. This was a good year from Bo Nix. Um, I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put you between Jared Goff and Dak Prescott. You got the 1 seed. You were very good this year. At times you struggled, so against bad teams, but you proved to us that you were able to do very well in sadly your one playoff game. You won that game. To be honest, you probably would have beaten the Patriots if you were playing, and you would have played yesterday. Um, it just sucks that that's not how it happened. But Bo Nix, for the most part, good season. Improved from year one. And Broncos, you should be happy that you have a guy that you can trust. Hopefully, his ankle is good because his one of his main things is he's a very mobile quarterback, um, and he knows when to be mobile, which is very good. That's what you want in your quarterback. You don't want a quarterback to just like run around for no reason when they don't need to. Um, he's kind of seems. I don't want to say he seems like Drew Brees because it's Drew Brees. He's one of the greatest QBs of all time. But it's like he's willing to stay in the pocket enough. I guess I'm saying like Drew Brees because Sean Payton's the head coach for Bo Nix. Um, he's more so like a Brock Purdy kind of, which isn't a diss to Bo Nix or Brock Purdy. Um, where it's like they know they're sneaky athletic. It is because they're white that people are like they're not athletic, but it's like they are. They are just genuinely athletic quarterbacks, and they know when to use it, which is a very key thing to be able to do if you have the acceleration, all that stuff. I guess mobility is the word I'm trying to find out. The mobility to know that hey, I can get out of this pocket because you saw Drake May just wasn't able to for the most. He just was a plank yesterday. All right, next up with the Chargers, Justin Herbert in 17 games goes 11 and 6 for 3,886 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Someone gave him a first place MVP vote for that. I think he should go at the top of B tier because that O line is ruined. Rumor has it that Madison Beer yesterday after the Super Bowl was loving on Justin Herbert, and she asked Justin Herbert, "Do you have protection?" And Justin Herbert got PTSD. He's currently at the hospital right now. Sources are telling me he's been there since about 7:22 on Sunday, February 8th in LA for PTSD from all the pain and suffering he took from his O line, who is supposed to have his protection, and they simply didn't. Madison Beer is crying as we speak for the fact that she was not able to get protection from Justin Herbert. Rumor has it as well that Jackson Dart is currently comforting Madison Beer, making because saying that Jackson Dart's currently saying that I have protection, and it's just Cam Scatterbo just running his fucking skull into the wall. Madison Beer is currently just crying, wondering why his friend is even hitting himself in the head with the wall. It's just a whole. LA is really fucking off right now. It's a sad story. Hopefully get well soon, Justin Herbert. He has called for none of his O line to be allowed in the room. It is just a sad scene to see. You never want to see a franchise quarterback go out that way, where they're just simply like, I didn't have protection from Madison Beer, and then just immediately just goes in a whole psychosis, I guess, of just pain and sorrow that he overcame with this whole season with the Chargers O line. It's just a sad thing to see. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore, just because it's very serious what's going on. Pray for Justin Herbert. I'll put it in the description. Please pray for Justin Herbert. All the pain and suffering he came to this season. It's a sad story. I'm not even gonna get to it. I gotta make sure I don't cry right now. It's just a very serious topic that it's just not talked about enough. They didn't even help him. They didn't even try to get rid of the Patriots. Sorry. It just gets it gets to a point where you just like you see a man current like just trying his best, and just he's giving it all, and he's just not getting any help back, and he needs a savior. He needs help, and just really hope he gets that. Yeah. All right, next up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes went for 14 games, going 6-8 for 3,587 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 211 interceptions. This is a shit year for Mahomes. I'm gonna put him at the very top of C tier. Nah, yeah, actually I am. I'm putting him at the very top of C tier. He was an average quarterback this year. Is it his fault? No, he has no help. Um, Thankfully, he was not able to end up like Justin Herbert, which is sad. Sad. Calm down. But yeah, Mahomes just wasn't that great this year. It is sad that he did tear his ACL against the Chargers. Get well soon, of course, Mahomes. As much as we don't like you, the league also is very fun when you're doing well. Um, just like people like hate watch you, I guess. But yeah, objectively, this was not a good year for a quarterback. I shouldn't say it wasn't a good year. Objectively, if you take away Mahomes' name and I tell you those stats, that's an average quarterback season. That's like Bryce Young stats, you know? So I'm putting you at C tier. Obviously, we all know you are the best quarterback in the league, but this year you just didn't look that way. Next up, Jacoby Brissett with the Cardinals in the NFC West. Jacoby Brissett in 12 games went for 3,366 passing yards, 23 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Those stats do look very good. They do look very good until you realize he went 1-11. Until you realize that he went fucking 1-11. It was shit. The team, he played a good football, but he didn't play football. He didn't play winning football. I'm gonna put him at the C tier, right next to Bryce Young. It's kind of the opposite, where Jacoby Brissett looked better than Bryce Young, but Bryce Young was playing winning football over Jacoby Brissett, which is why I'm gonna have him below Bryce Young. It's Jacoby Brissett. What do you expect? The Cardinals aren't good. All right, next up, 49ers. Brock Purdy played in 11 games, including the postseason. Went for a record of 8 wins, 3 losses, for 2,569 passing yards, 22 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. He had a good stretch of games against, I want to say it was the Titans, Browns, Colts, Bears, where he was like electric and was dominating those teams. He had some rough patches. Obviously, the 2 games against the Seahawks were his roughest. And earlier in the year as well, the first game against Seattle, and then that game coming back against the Jaguars. Overall, some good, some bad. At the end of the day, he played winning football. He went 8-3. I'm gonna put him at the B tier, above Baker Mayfield, but below Lamar Jackson, Justin and Joe Burrow, and Indiana Jones, Daniel Jones. Um, Another one of those kind of players where there just wasn't enough sample size for you. I mean, you don't want your starting quarterback to get hurt. We'll get to his backup in a minute, obviously with Mac Jones, but solid, solid season. Some good, some bad. Um, Hopefully he plays the full season next year. Um, yeah, just overall, he did what he usually does. B tier quarterback, where it's like, yeah, he's good. He's a good quarterback, but you know what I mean. He's not gonna be the best quarterback in the league. Good winning quarterback. That's what you want from your quarterback, though. Next up, Mac Jones. In 8 games, went 5-3 for 2,151 passing yards, 13 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Another just a good backup quarterback. He'll definitely get some calls from the Steelers. Um, a team like that, like the Dolphins, one of those teams, just because there aren't really that many. There's one good quarterback coming out of college, um, to where Mac Jones can start for like the Dolphins, the Jets, or the Steelers as like a spot starter for this year. And if he plays well, those teams are like, all right, fine, we're not going to draft a quarterback in the first round. Because next year's draft, I think, has a lot of good quarterbacks. So it's going to be one of those things where it's like, this is your make it or break it year. Kind of like Sam Darnold last year, where it's like, all right, you have 1 year with this team. If you're good, we'll keep you. Unless you're Sam Darnold, because for some reason, the Vikings didn't keep you. But if you're good, we'll keep you. If not, we'll go away. I'm going to put Mac Jones at the C tier. I'm going to put him above Bryce Young, but below Aaron Rodgers. Good year. Overall, just a good year. Not enough sample size, but when he was playing, he was playing winning football, and he had better stats than Bryce Young in that span. So that's all. That's the only reason why I'm putting him the C tier above Bryce Young. Next up for the Rams, Matthew Stafford, the MVP. In 20 games, went 14-6 for 5,643 passing yards, 52 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. This is the S tier quarterback. He was the best quarterback this year. Phenomenal season. You won the MVP award. You fucking somehow scored 30 points on the Seahawks. That makes no sense. People forget, man. Baker Mayfield beat the Seahawks. That's insane. But yeah, he was just clearly the best quarterback this year. Congrats on winning the MVP award. He should have won it. That's without a doubt. He should have won it. I don't think it should have been that close. It should have been like 30. What? There's like how many votes? 50 votes? I want to say. Or 48, something like that. I think that he should have gotten like 34 of them. It should not have been like 24-23. It should have been like a 10. He should have won by 10 votes. Matthew Stafford over Drake May. He should have won by like 10 votes. I don't see why it was that close. I think it was very obvious that Stafford won the MVP award. Yeah, he was just by far the best quarterback this year. That's why he's the lone S tier quarterback. I left it at S tier just for the singular best quarterback in the league, and that was Matthew Stafford. All right, last up, we have the Super Bowl winning quarterback from the Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold, who in 20 games went 17-3 for 4,720 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. I'm going to be putting Sam Darnold's season I got to take into account that he did win the Super Bowl. He is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but I'm still going to put him at the 4 spot. Because he clearly was not an MVP candidate. He was nowhere near the MVP candidate run or the race. Nowhere near it at all. Just played a very good game against the Rams. Didn't need to play all that well against the Niners or the Patriots. It's a team sport. Sometimes you don't have to do a whole lot for your team to win. And that's what happened. Not diminishing Sam Darnold. I'm so proud of Sam Darnold for the way that he changed his not just his career. That's a cool thing. he proved that, like, no matter how many times you're beaten down, you're told no, you're just told you're not good enough in life, that hard work does beat that. And he proved that these last 2 years. And it's one of those stories that how can you not be proud of him? And how can you not appreciate what he's gone through to see him raising that Lombardi trophy that yesterday? That's just one of those things where if you're a football fan, how can you not clap for a man like that? You know what I mean? Um, just congrats to Sam Darnold, and congrats to Daniel Jones for doing that this year. Congrats to Baker Mayfield, who did that a few years ago. You know, yeah, it's just one of those cool things to see a player who was shut down basically by the fan base of the Jets, of the Panthers, and it's just very cool to see someone like that succeed. So yeah, congratulations to Sam Darnold. That is all I have for you today, folks. Um, Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna do that one thing again. I don't know if you guys saw my last video. I went like the guy who eats food. It's called Eat with Unc, dude. Off the hook. If you're still watching this video, that means you're off the hook. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it's just so funny. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, I have other videos, I guess. They're not that great, but they are videos still. Um, it's getting hard to find good videos to watch while eating food, and I'm not really doing anything else, so it's kind of like just fucking. I'm literally talking to a wall. There is a wall straight ahead of me. There is a blank white wall just right in front of me. There is nothing else going on around me. um. So yeah, it's cool, I guess. I don't know why I said that. I'm just. But yeah, I guess that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.